Okay, so you guys are up here in your jam space. Oh, would you say it's like a 10 by 20 size area?
About that, yeah.
So it's not too bad. I've noticed a lot of bands have had troubles finding areas to practice in. Did you guys run into the same problems?
Yeah, we did actually. We actually jammed at a place where our bass player, Josh Peck here, when we originally formed as a band, we found Josh, and then he had the jam spot, and, you know, it was a little shack behind the Queen Student House. Ended up getting the boot out of there because we're too loud and such. So, you know, we went about a month, which isn't very long. Some bands go longer without finding a spot, and luckily found this one. So it definitely is a big struggle and a big issue with a lot of bands is where you can jam and where you can have like access 24 hours a day and carry on and all the other stuff that comes associated with being in a band. So yeah, it's a struggle, but we found it. We've been here. We treat it well, and you know, we're planning to be here for a while. So.
That's cool. Now, do you guys just use this area as a practice room, or do you use it kind of as a recording area and kind of like a songwriting?
Yeah, we spend a lot of time here, like doing other things, like whether it's writing lyrics, come here, places to hang out and make different kind of music, and yeah. We do a lot of. We don't do any recordings here, but there's a lot of other people that do some recordings in here as well. So yeah.
We celebrate birthdays here, anniversaries. We'll host events here the odd time, and our neighbors don't like it, but you know you got to do what you got to do, right? So we party here.
So you guys don't get many noise complaints then?
No noise complaints. We get garbage complaints the next day. We didn't clean up our empties, and our neighboring bands sometimes don't like that. So, but we do our part. We try to keep it clean and stuff. So.
Now, how did you guys first come across your band name?
Oh, the band name?
Yeah.
I don't even know, man. This is pre-me. Like, you guys just thought of it one day, didn't you? It's just...
Yeah, basically. There's no, like, subliminal meaning behind it or anything that, you know, has any kind of emotion attached to it. We just were thinking of a name, thinking of something that tried to sound different. Sound cool, and we came up with Clockwize, which unfortunately wasn't that original, so we threw the sound on the end of it, and yeah, it's caused us nothing but trouble since then.
Cool. Now, have you guys had an album? Any problems creating an album yet?
Not too much. Like we have the album recorded. It's just paying for the packaging of the album and burning all these CDs, but no, it should be out in the next couple of months.
Sounds like the EPs.
The EPs.
We have lots of EPs.
We have lots of EPs. Totally. Yeah, no, we've been every show we go to now. We just burn 3 or 4 songs to a CD and just give it out. Probably like 10 CDs and try to just spread the word.
So now, what's the name of the album?
The name of the album is back to the name of the band thing. It's Clockwise Sounds, titled Wise with a Z, y'all, because we had to really show that it's clockwise with a Z. That's originally, how we spelt the name of the band, and then everybody spells it with an S wherever we play shows, show posters, that kind of thing. And we always find ourselves saying it's Wise with a Z. We say it at the end of our shows and stuff, and just yell it out randomly at times. So that's what we decided to name the album. So. To be released soon in a city near you.
How many songs on the album?
9, I think. 9. And there might be a bonus track, and so 9 or 10.
Did you go through many songs before you decided that going with the 9?
Oh yeah, we first started playing in the Kingston scene a couple years ago. Basically, when we formed the band, we were playing shows like a month and 2 months later. And we had a lot of stuff that I used to play acoustically and stuff like that we used to just jam out hanging around the campfire, and we just put that towards the band and started playing a lot of shows with that kind of stuff. We have a retired list in the jam spot where we just have songs that we've gone through that we played a lot and don't play anymore, so they didn't make the album, and took us like some of them that we hated to see to go or whatever, like that they're really good songs and kind of. I don't know, maybe the time that we were playing it or whatever, they rocked at the time, but then they just didn't make the cut for the album, and they're on the retired list, but basically it.
problems finding shows here in Kingston. Do you find that abroad as well?
Actually, we found that, Kingston's actually really good. There's a couple promotions companies. Kingston Punk Productions was really good to us. Like, they gave us shows right out the bat. And now, whether that was good or bad for us at the time, because like Jack was saying, we played shows right away as soon as we were, started jamming. So that's really good that a lot of people are giving you the first shot is what a lot of bands need. And then, once you establish a name, it's really easy to book shows in Kingston. But out of town, no, it's a lot more difficult. We've managed to crack into the Ottawa scene. We've got quite a few shows there, but we're trying to tap into Toronto and stuff. It seems to be a little bit more of a struggle. So it's all who you know.
Especially with your genre, do you feel that affects you guys at all?
I mean, the scene in Kingston, like it's hard to really say where we even fit in. It's a hard question to really answer, really, because it's trying to find our groove. We've kind of found our groove in Kingston with different spots, but
we got a kind of an awkward spot. It's like, we're too punk for the rock crowd and too rock for the punk crowd, and we just basically are trying to find that genre that kind of touches on everyone, and just basically party music that you can listen to when you're having a good time. But yeah, it's really hard to kind of fit with us. We're not a punk band, we're not a rock band, we're not a ska band. We just like to touch on a bunch of different genres. So that's good, and it can be a bad thing sometimes too.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah. So do you feel when you come across your second album, do you feel you're going to have your own sound, or are you still going to kind of jump on to all the different genres?
It will be Clockwize sound. Yeah, I don't know. I think we do have our own sound, and I think we kind of found that, and it'll just depend on probably the songs that we'll make will constantly change. We don't look at the band as being one genre. We just look at our certain songs as being a genre. We have one song that's punk, one song that leans a little more in another genre, and kind of we look at it more as that as a band as a whole, kind of what genre we're in. Yeah.
So when it comes to your writing, who does what?
Jack.
I do a lot of the structures for the songs, like when it comes up to the melodies or maybe building up a chorus or something like that, but it's all usually ideas and vibes that we pick up, like hanging out and stuff like that. I'll maybe suggest a couple riffs or a structure of a song, and then we'll jam it out and just kind of see what goes from there and yell out a bunch of shit, and whatever sounds good we might write it down at the time, or if we get some sort of structure to the song we might bring it home, or Jeff and I might sit down and write some lyrics to it, or a lot of the stuff that comes to me is just a stream of consciousness type of shit, and kind of structure it from there and fill in things as I go, and that's basically it, and bring it back to the jam spot and bang it out and see how it goes from there.
Yeah. How many cuts would you say you go through each song before you decide on the final cut?
Well, I mean, we always have our own views on the songs and like how they're going, the structure of it. If we want to maybe adding in different parts, whether we want to go with a certain style, or if it's going to be faster or slower, or something like that. And I don't know, we might argue it out for a bit, or sometimes songs just come together quickly too. So depending on the song, we've had some songs we struggle with, or some songs just kind of come together really fast too. And I think there's always stuff we have on the back burner that we might just throw out and jam sometimes. If it seems to be going in a certain direction, we might work with that one a bit more and maybe get some lyrics down, or maybe a chorus or something hype that's happening in it. And if we like the feeling of it at the time, then we'll work on that one and finish it type of thing. So I guess it all depends on how we're feeling as a band. And
any band decisions really come along easy because we're only a three-piece. So it's an easy voting system. If someone comes up with an idea, if the two other guys don't like it, then it gets shut down pretty quick. So we've cut a lot of shit. We've cut a lot of full song ideas, and that's what it's about, really. Something has to hit with all three of us, and if it does, then generally, if we jam it out enough and if we play it, then other people like it too, and that's what's worked so far.
Yeah. Now, the ideas that you cut, are those cut forever, or do you bring those back every now and again?
We have the retired list, which is basically songs that we've created that we've either played and decided to stop playing, or we've came up with and just had said, we kind of got to remember this, keep it on the back burner. And I think Jack does a lot of that too. Even if we shut down an idea of his or idea of someone else's, I think Jack kind of keeps his own retired list in his mind and brings back different ideas from different songs that he has. And the melodies are all from coming from Jack here, so. even if we shut it down, I think you'll turn it into something else and propose it again to us. So
Gets kind of recycled.
yeah.
You know, like
Nothing
old,
gets thrown out.
yeah, old jams kind of resurface. You know, the more we drink, whatever's comfortable.
Now, on average, how each rehearsal you do you come in with new songs, or do you have like a specific couple days out of the week that you do come in with new ideas?
I mean, like lately it depends on where, in what direction our band's heading or what show we're about to play. Depending on if maybe we have a big show that we're playing that's coming up, we might be practicing on just a set list for that. Or we got a couple gigs playing at the Tiernanog, so required to maybe learn a couple cover songs. We might come and focus on that sometimes. And then sometimes we just come here and it's like, all right, we need to work on some of our original stuff. Like, you know, you can only play so, like, other people's stuff for so long. That's why, like, we always have been an original band, because even when we started to learn a couple other songs just for fun type of thing to get people moving on the dance floor, like, we just got sick of it. And I think we came here one time and we just, like, had this, like, a musical, like, burst out of trying to, like, just do some, like, just jam out our own shit or whatever flies, because that's really what we like to do, and it's a lot of more fun that way. And then eventually just build some structure to it and put out an album, which is what we did. So I guess it depends on the time, but a lot of the time we do come in here and work on stuff we already have done or evolve from there. Or we always, if there's a couple new songs that are being floated around, we'll work on that, and depending on what's happening with the band and what shows we have coming up.
Cool. Now, do you record any of the parts that you do practice in the rehearsal space?
That's one thing we don't do. We always just kind of remember it from, we would like to start doing something like that. Josh had mentioned how he had a 4-track recorder or whatever, but basically we just kind of on the fly type of shit. If we like what we hear at the time, and work on it from there, or something like that.
We practice our stuff so much that, you know, we don't need to record anything to kind of bank the memory or anything like that. You know, we'll just practice it. If we like it, then we'll just, next time we do a session with, you know, a producer in a recording studio, then we just lay it down there as a final cut. We don't do any really recording on the way up ourselves. We like to play Frisbee. We play a lot of Frisbee in the jam spot, so time that could be spent recording, we jam, and then we cool off with a good game of Ultimate Frisbee.
Now, where can people get a hold of you guys?
You can check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/clockwizesound, myspace.com/clockwizesound, or hit us up on email, clockwizesound@gmail.com, and we do all the bookings and stuff there. Other than that, just, you know, come out to a show, check us out on Facebook, find where the shows are, and remember, it's Wise with a Z, clockwizesound@gmail.com, Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, all that good stuff.
Cool.